Good morning. Good morning, sir. Top of the morning to
Buenos dias.
you. Hitting every corner of the world.
Cafe.
And
Cafe.
I was looking for mine and like, where is it? But yeah, cafe.
So where's your background today?
Um, I'm in a neighborhood. As you can see, there's sun. So I'm
Uh,
in the neighborhood.
all right. Today's coffee with Kahuna and Aldrin. We were thinking about talking about finishing jobs on time.
Yeah. So, well, to start things off, when you mentioned like finishing jobs on time, uh, it, I'm gonna, just give my experience through contractors. It might be different there, might be different here, but I think one thing is common that if a job is taken and then contractors are already doing their job, they're basically just lingering at the house.
You
So,
mean like taking a lot
yeah,
longer than expected?
yes, I mean, I don't know why they like there's a lot of questions in my head like why are they pausing? Is everything already done? Are they waiting for something? Things like that.
Sure. Well, we have a system for that, and it requires communication with the homeowner about the realistic time frame for the job. So oftentimes and I have to give a disclaimer. I think it is a little easier for certain trades than others. Like if you're doing like full house remodels or kitchen and bath type things, sometimes you are waiting for materials. Like those guys get hung up with like countertop orders, tile orders, things like that. So I do know that occasionally contractors will get behind on those kind of things. But I think you can mitigate a lot of that with scheduling, and scheduling for us is a big one. So we kind of have a timeline where we go in once a lead comes in and we do an estimate. We usually the first thing is we usually get the estimate out right away within a day. Within 24 hours, the client gets an estimate. Otherwise, Aldrin and I are having anxiety attacks. Um, we usually follow up with the client within 24 hours to check on the estimate to make sure is there anything we just want to know if you're not hiring us, like we're going to move on to someone else. But as far as finishing the jobs, that happens in the estimate process too, where we go in and we kind of calculate the labor days for a customer, especially in residential work. We can do that pretty easily. We can look at a house and understand how long it's going to take for us to paint it. Um, I think it's crew allocation too, like putting the right people on the jobs. Like certain members of our crew are better at certain things than others, so we may put the right people on the job. We might put a certain number of crew on a job. For instance, like if somebody has a lot of times we get a rush job from a realtor, and they say, "Oh, hey, can you come next week? And we need this. We need to list it in a week." And if we know, hey, we can't do that job with just two guys, we have to send four or six or whatever, and crush it out in a week. So I think it is that scheduling and understanding the scheduling is really important. And then on our end, in the background, it's communicating with the customer ahead of time so that we can go in knowing they know what to expect. So we always do a pre-job and a post-job walkthrough. The pre-job walkthrough includes telling them what to expect, what their roles will be, like if they have to move furniture or take anything off the walls or the floors or whatever. And we'll explain to them how we're going to work through the house. Any detail stuff like entry access, like sometimes people give us keys or they give us they make a temporary garage code or something so we can get in and out. Start and stop times, like we discuss all of this stuff up front, and then it goes into our notes that go to our employees, so they don't have to guess either. There's not a bunch of text messaging usually. Between, obviously, if they have questions, they can always get a hold of us. But um, I think it's really having an organized approach to the job. So you go in knowing, okay, I have to do this level of preparation first. There's this much masking. There's this much drywall work or caulking or any of those things, and you have to calculate that time roughly, because it's never an exact science. But generally speaking, because we do that so much, we hit our targets within a day or so. It's very rare that a job goes more than a day over what we planned it for, and it only usually does that if something really unexpected happens. So
So,
why we, and I'm sorry, I'm itching my nose itches today. It creates a confidence in the homeowner that we're not going to linger at their house. We're not going to hang out too long and have guys being there when they're at inconvenient times. Generally speaking, we start and stop every day at the same time, and we have we clean up as we go, and we're getting out of your house as quickly as possible, and we're trying not to split up jobs. Like, once we start a job, we're at that job until we finish it. If I'm sure you've noticed that for working for me, like we start a job, we finish it. It's very rare that we pull off of something and go to something else. Usually it's weather related, or like if we're in a new build and we're working with other trades where, okay, all the walls are ready, and the guy has to come, or preliminary priming is done, and now the ceilings are done, and now the trim carpenter is coming in to put in trim and doors, and then we prep and paint those. And then we, there, sometimes if you're working with electricians and other trades, you have to kind of come in and out as the painter to finish the jobs. But yeah, it's very important. I think finishing jobs on time is awesome. And it's
so communication.
It's so rare.
Key.
Yeah, communication and managing expectations, like knowing how long things should take. And then, if a problem comes up with the timeline, we can address it right away. So, good question. It was a good talk.
There's a big difference. I think that puts meaning to high-end residential. It doesn't. For the first time when I heard like high-end residential, I was thinking like it's a luxury house. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong. I think I'm learning right now it's not the property itself. It's the service that we bring. It's the high end service that we bring to residentials. Correct me if I'm wrong on that.
No, it's true. We treat everyone the same, so it doesn't matter if you got a $10 million home or a $10,000 home. If you're hiring us to do the work, our labor rates are the same. The quality is the same.
Because I want to throw in like. I want to throw in like a story. Go ahead.
The only time it's different is if a customer, sometimes like apartments or things like that, where they're like, look, just do one coat the best you can. We don't do a lot of that work, but if we do, that's the only difference in the quality, is that the customer's telling us, look, we don't want high quality. We just want you in and out, and it's usually because they want to get it done within a certain budget. So go ahead. What was your story or question?
That's going to be in part 2. Nah, I'm kidding. No, that's going to be in the next video, because this one, I think we're already at the point in which, it's what they can let me. But the story, no, I'm kidding. The story is about house service here, the vast difference between the culture. There, as what I've experienced working with you, is that you give that high end service, like the most respect for all customers. Here, it's like when we hire painters, it's they will come here, and some of them will even though we mentioned like no smoking, they will smoke, and then even if we look at them, they will just look at us back, and then
Keep smoking.
like yeah, like keep smoking, and then they will be out like no notice. They will just go out of the house and then leave everything dirty, like every equipment on the floor, paint splatter everywhere, and then a couple minutes after that, they will come back, and then they will say, "We just ate." And then, huh? Did you mention something about eating? Why didn't you clean this one up first? Because people are going in and out of the house, so there's like this vast culture difference between the services. So uh, it was just a story that came up to me because if I get that type and that level of service, I think it's gonna give me less stress for a day. And then this story is basically with me up until now, but this happened like what, 7 years ago. I still remember it fresh in my head. Like, I don't want to experience that ever again. But yeah.
People can't. People are sick of accepting mediocrity from the trades. Period. It's here in the West, we there, people, that's the whole point of this. The whole point of giving extra services, that people are sick of being held hostage by someone just because they have a skill that they don't. Right? It's the same thing like when you go to a doctor. If a doctor treats you like shit, you're like, hey, I'm a person. Like I'm like if they don't take you into consideration, and then you're probably not. You don't want to be held hostage by anyone, right? So I think that's the bigger lesson, is like if you give people good service, they don't feel like they had to deal with you. They feel like they're happy to deal with you, or that you provided them with something, you solved the problem for them, and you made and it felt good doing it. So that's the point of that. That's probably all the time we have for today.
Yeah.
Yo, go out there and have a great and prosperous day. Anyone who watches this crazy little cut of me and Aldrin.
Yeah.
And send us some questions, because we will answer them. We're doing this once or twice a week. We're committed to doing it. So that's it. Peace.
Yeah. We'll see you. Peace.